Tonight, in a story you'll see only on Fox 6, a deep dive into life in the U.S. Navy. Fox 6's Carl Deffenbaugh and chief photographer Andy Konkle introduce you to Wisconsin sailors that have left the shores of Lake Michigan to serve the nation's interests abroad.
Good to go, sir.
The people that power the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower come from all over the country.
Went to school at the University of Colorado, go Buffs.
Grew up in North Philly, go Eagles.
To form their own team with a roster of more than 5,000 men and women.
On Wisconsin, go Badgers.
And at every level of the ship, Wisconsin is well represented.
His note is Lieutenant J.G. Cheesehead Diener, so that's my family. We are insane Packer fans.
From Milwaukee and Madison, Kenosha and Door County, they now sail the world's oceans as the embodiment of American power abroad.
When you see an aircraft carrier pulling into port, it's a sight to behold.
Commander Patrick Zekin has seen plenty in his 26 years in the Navy, much of which has been spent flying radar scanning E-2 Hawkeyes.
We are the, if you want to call it the eyes and ears of the strike group.
Others, like Clayton Kamasa from West Allis, have a more limited view.
How many times have you been out here since you started?
About 3.
And how long have you been on the ship?
A little over a year.
The now 22-year-old joined the Navy right out of high school to work on the nuclear reactor at the Mighty Ike's core.
I thought it would be interesting to be able to say that I'm 18 years old and I split atoms for a living.
Pretty cool, though not in the Persian Gulf, where temperatures in the reactor plant can top 140 degrees.
You'd come out every day just covered in sweat, and you'd have to change your undershirt and underwear like 4 times a day just to stay fresh. It was unbearable. You had to acclimate to the heat. Just like acclimating to a cold winter up in Wisconsin, it's much the same.
The Mighty Ike returned from its most recent deployment December 30th.
First rank, 1 pace forward.
The 7-month journey was everything logistics specialist DeMonte Lewis hoped to get out of the Navy.
I figured it was the most chance for me to get to explore the world because they always traveling.
From the north side of Milwaukee, he has now traveled halfway around the world.
I've been to Italy. I climbed Mount Vesuvius. I actually went inside Eiffel Tower and ate in a 5-star restaurant.
I have...
Though for some on board,
awesome
even gourmet meals can't replace the tastes of home.
Maters and burgers and cheese curds and Culvers and Cops and all the terrible things for you.
Yeah, okay.
There are different ways they measure the distance.
I have not had a chance to talk to my daughter for a week. That makes it very difficult.
And different reasons they chose a life in the service.
I know that I'm doing my part. I'm serving my country to protect those that I love back home.
But the one thing that doesn't leave them is that home, Wisconsin.
The second that I land in MKE and you see all this Packer stuff, it's like, oh yes, my people, I'm here.
Carl Deffenbaugh, Fox 6 News.
Pretty impressive, right? Now, Carl isn't heading back to port just yet. Tonight at 10, we'll take a closer look at the lives of 2 women on board the USS Eisenhower and tell you how a Navy program hopes to keep and promote female sailors in the service for an entire career.
It's fun to see that behind-the-scenes look there.
It is. I mean, so many people have no idea what the Navy actually does out there.
Yep.
They're out there for a long time, that's for sure.